Hi, this is Mel. I hope all of you are doing awesome. Today we're going to do a ghost video. So here it goes. And this is a true ghost story. So Mia and ghost are inseparable. Wherever Mia was, she will always experience ghost and ghostly figures. It was something that she knew. It was something in her birth chart made her such a person that wherever she goes, the ghosts are there. But she could connect. She could see the supernatural thing, um, and she could feel sense. So every house she has been to, there are ghosts, or just because she went there, the ghosts were there, because she could understand them, she could sense them. And as far as I think that ghosts are everywhere, and the reason we don't see them because we don't have the ability. But someone who has the ability to sense the supernatural thing, they can sense it. Because once everywhere, when people dies, where do they go? I mean, they need a place to go. So anyway, so she went to this place, and it got quite evening time. And as she was going in, and she could see in the hallway the lights were flickering a lot. It was very unusually flickering. And she always had this feeling she could sense it, something not right. And so initially, when all started, she was afraid of ghosts, but then later, she got some stones, magical stones, which made her not be afraid of the supernatural anymore. And initially, the fear was coming from inside her whole body would experience the fear, and would be like heart will be jumpy and all that, throat will be dry. But then once she got these stones, gemstones, uh, and special kind of necklaces, then she wasn't afraid anymore. She could see them, experience them, but there was no fear in her, as the fear was gone, even though she knew these entities were there. She felt as if like they don't have a place to go, so they coexist with human because they were human, and now they don't know where to go. And she also knew that there was a time, like once someone dies, there could be well, actually time does not exist in the world where people are dead. Time does not exist. It's just a thing that we believe. But there's a specific gap where they could be born again, but there's a long line of people, and also they can be just born tomorrow, because it needs a lot of calculation in order for them to be born. The higher divine, the supreme, has to calculate to see what are the karmas they have done, and based on the karma, where are they going to born, in which people's house. And those karmas need to be fulfilled, whatever they have done in life. So it's not so easy that somebody could die and just bam, they're born somewhere else. No, in order for somebody could die and be born in the same house with another, like a grandma could die and come into granddaughter's womb, but it'll take years. Maybe when grandma died, the granddaughter was 5. So for her to become a mother, grandma might have to wait 20 years. So this 20 years, where would they go? They will roam around, and just sometimes some people who has the ability, they will see them. Some people freak out, and some people who understand don't freak out. So back to the story. So she saw the lights were flickering, and then she knew something is there, but she got to go upstairs, so she had to use the elevator. And this was a certain kind of office she was going to. So she went inside the elevator, and then she pushed the button, and she was supposed to go to the 11th floor. So she pushed the button, and there was no one at the elevator inside. And then as the elevator is going, and then all of a sudden she saw a lady pop in from nowhere, from the elevator, close elevator door. She could get through, and she had covers in her head, so she couldn't see anything, just a figure. And she knew this is not a live person because she didn't open the door to get in the elevator. She just came. So she was just standing, and this person was mumbling, and she knew not to say anything, talk anything, because she knows this is a non-living person. But she wasn't afraid because she had this gemstone and special kind of necklace on her. So she knows that with these being there and her not interacting with the ghost, the ghost or the demon or whatever it is based on the karma, based on their behavior, attitude, what they used to be. So unless she gives them the permission, unless she lets them know that she sees them and she can hear them, they could just be there, and she would pretend not to see or hear, and they will not do anything. Because once she put on this gemstone and the necklace, she realized that all this fear in ghost is just mental thing. Because honestly, the ghost cannot actually do any harm because they don't have that body. They do is in the mind. So if she could control her mind and not to be scared, and first of all, not to, if I see there's a dog and it's coming to bite me, so I'm gonna have a reaction to it, like, oh, I'm so scared, oh, I gotta run or not run, whatever. So but if I just block it out, like, okay, it's all in my mind, and I wouldn't pay attention, so then I cannot do anything because I stopped to imagine. So then she did that. She would just stand there, and this lady keep mumbling. Then the 11th floor came, and she went outside, and she went and did her job, whatever she needed to do. And she was basically taking care of an elderly person. So she went there and got her list of things that she needed her to buy and bring it to the building. She would just, her job was to go to elderly people and see if they need anything, and then she'll just buy and bring it, and that's how she made her money. She had her car. So, and some clients she actually went in the house and took care of them. But this lady, she was just going to see if she need anything, any medicine, food, water, whatever. So then she came back to the elevator, and then as she got in, the lady came in again, popping out of nowhere. And then she just pretended not to hear her, but she wasn't in the elevator, and started crying and moaning and sobbing and crying. And she just totally pretended, blocked it out. She knew that this is an entity. See, these entities actually not trying to get attention. What they're doing at that moment, whether moaning or sobbing or crying, that was the phase when they died. So they cannot detach themselves from that feeling. The everything stays here: money, house, car, friends, clothes. But what goes with us is the feeling. So we must be nice to people and not hurt their feelings, because when we hurt the feelings, that goes with us. When we are nice to people, that goes with us. So it's very important to be nice in this world and not to hurt people's feeling. So what happened, is she was crying and sobbing, and she knew there's nothing she could do for that ghost, nothing. But if she acknowledges that she hears, then the ghost demons, these things, they attach themselves to things, people, objects. But if she did not acknowledge, then the ghost would know that she cannot hear them, she cannot see them, so they have no reason to attach themselves to her. And what happens when these things attaches with us? When it attaches, it makes us suffer, because these things are suffering. So when these things are suffering, we suffer. So if we don't acknowledge, even though we see it's there, it's crying, we don't have to have a reaction like, oh my God, there's a ghost, run away. No, we don't need a reaction. We don't need to acknowledge. Then they stay on that place. So then she got the groceries. She went up, the same thing the ghost was doing, and this time even doing more, sit down on the inside the elevator and moaning and sobbing and telling the whole story, that how her boyfriend killed her, stabbed her again and again till she died. And then she keeps saying police never found him, all this thing. But Mia knew that there's nothing she could do. Even though she tells people, nobody will believe her. So she didn't wanted her to be with this. So she got out, and then she was thinking like, well, I should tell somebody. And then so she went to the elderly lady, and lady always used to be very, very sick. So she was sitting down, made some tea for her, and then she started chatting. So she asked her that, did she know anyone in this building that been murdered or anything? And then elderly lady said, yes, I've been living here for over 40 years. I spent all my life in this building. And yeah, I heard on the third floor there was a lady and her boyfriend there, and she was cheating on him, and he found out. So he was on some sort of drugs, and he stabbed and murdered her. But then the police found him, and he's in jail ever since then. So the lady said that some people did have sightings of that ghost on the elevator, but she never did. And then Mia told that lady that if it's not too much, maybe she should move out of there and find another place, because she's been always sick. And it always happens with the places where this ghost or demonic entities there, since they experience pain and suffering, and that's what they inflict on other people, suffering, pain and happiness, because they cannot bear to see happiness or good things, because they are carrying that burden of a lot of pain. So it just comes naturally. So she said, well, I lived all my life here, and I don't see myself in a new place, especially this is so secure building and all my needs are met. I live here, I get groceries in home, I get medication in home, and I don't need to worry about anybody coming or anything. It's just so secure, the doors are so secure. So I think I'm okay, even though she's suffering a lot with the health problems, and that makes her unhappy. But some people get just so attached to the place that they don't want to move, especially at an old age. They don't want to start over in a new place, new building, everything new. So she said, I'm okay for now. I mean, she was in her 70s, so she said, what's the worst things you could do? Kill me? I'm always about to die anyway. So she laughed. So Mia had a nice conversation and a tea, and when she came back to the elevator, she said she saw that the lady was stuck to the elevator wall and showing that how she was screaming when she was getting stabbed, and Mia had to try extremely hard to not see it and ignore her. And what she did is closed her eyes and prayed to did Hanuman Chalisa, keep praying. And then when the door opened, she walked out. She did not acknowledge the ghost is there and showing her all this, because the person who caused it already got punished and in the jail, and there's nothing more she can do. But if she shows sympathy and acknowledge, then it will cling to her body, and cause lots of havoc in her life, in her health, everything. So she needs to not to acknowledge, not to look, not to show any kind of emotions, because they cling to the emotion. That's why they carry the baggage of emotion on the other side, cry. They cannot forget what happened to them, and at that point, once they are dead, there's no way to make them forgive, because there's no brain, no head. So there will be no counseling or no medication or no herbs or spices, because that is what they're going to continue living till the day comes for them to be reborn according to their karma, even though it is sad. And so it is what it is, and that's how the laws of the universe works. And so this was a little ghost story with some justification why it happens, and why we should not react to it, and why we should not show any sympathy, or why we should not acknowledge, because then it will cling to us. And it's been seen, it's this is a truth. So whether somebody likes it or don't like it, when someone say, oh, I'm so lonely, oh, I don't have anybody, oh, I don't have anybody to talk to, I wish I had somebody, that is the power given to the unseen ghost, demon, supernatural thing. Because then they say, oh, there's somebody like me, oh, somebody needs me, I should just go, I should just be with that person. And that is why you see most of the time they're sick or unhappy, because they have given that power. But when we feel lonely, nobody's there, nobody to help, we always have to think, no, that is not true, because we have God. We can express our loneliness and all the problems to God and seek God's help, and then say, no, I have God. If I have God, then I have everything, and I'm never going to lose that, because there is no end to the God, right? So that was the little story with little bit of wisdom, I guess. So thank you so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share, and I'll see you with many more. Bye bye.